So, ladies and gents, welcome again with another video. In today's video, I'm about to break down the same exact seven-figure playbook and funnel all of these high-ticket coaches uses to scale past 100K per month. So you might be wondering, how could you speak on behalf of all of these high-ticket coaching offers? Well, you see, I've been fortunate enough the past few years to actually train over 300 sales reps and place these sales reps directly to these seven-figure offers. So you guys can see in my YouTube videos, I have a bunch of interviews for my clients, and they've also shared the names and disclosed some of the names of these coaches that scales past $1 million a month. So I've seen the back end, I've seen how the funnel runs, and also indirectly consulting these guys by simply telling them, hey, you need to fix this, this, and that. So that's the data points that I was able to gather, and now I'm going to break it down to you guys here, right? I'm going to share everything that I know in terms of what to hire, when to hire, right? How to fix a broken funnel, what to focus on, and all that good stuff, right? So sit down, take your notes. And also, before I get started, at the description below this video, I have a booking link there. If you want to chat, if you want to talk about your offer, if you want to scale your offer, let me know. More than happy to chat with you and see how we can help you scale past those 50K months and get you to 100K months, right? So make sure your credit card is ready as well if you're going to book that call in. If I genuinely feel I can help you out there's no point of going back and forth, right? So we can dive right into it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So stage one. So if you're in the stages of 0 to 30K per month, this should be your main focus right now, right? So right now, you're trying to find a market fit, right? So what you need to do is refine your offer, your sales process, and your client acquisition system before hiring a team, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, if you don't have your offer dialed in, right, there's a couple of questions you can ask yourself as well. And this is also a previous video I've made. I've broken down on how to actually create and craft a good offer, right? So main thing is like finding your ideal client. What is the exact problem you're solving? What is the outcome of the service or the product, right? And how long will it take to solve the problem? And also, who's your competitor? So you can also have some baseline on if it's already a proven offer or not, right? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You simply need to be in the right vehicle. And on top of that as well, just make sure that it's somewhat validated already and give your own twist, because we're moving into a transition right now as well into the high ticket coaching space where people will work with you not because you're the best, but because you're the one that they resonate the most. And we're going into these micro brands, and especially, you know, a bunch of the big names in the space is also pushing you to start creating your own coaching program. So you don't feel like you can't scale past 100K months just because you don't have like millions of followers, right? So once you get that dialed in, your offer, right, you need to make sure you have clarity on your sales process. And I could break it down here. This is the same exact process 99% of all of these gurus are using as well, right? And again, I've seen this is the same exact thing of all industries, right? I've placed my sales reps to over, I would say, 100 different industries, from fitness to mindset to crypto, from trading, from specific, table tennis coach, from B2B marketing agency, all of this stuff. This is the very similar framework that they use. And this is what I've seen that has found the most success as well, right? So here, your main focus is to book roughly around 10 to 15 calls per week. You can easily get to those 30K months with just 10, 15 calls per week, when you're also charging roughly around 3 to 10K per packages, right? So the higher the package it is, then the lower the calls you would need. But on a sweet spot, I would aim for roughly around 20 calls per week, and we can talk about organic and paid and how you can also generate those leads, right, in a couple of minutes here. And then I would aim for 30% of closing your own deals, right, to ensure your offer converts, right? So this is also a good point when you are about to run ads, right? Make sure you're closing that clip over there, right? And the way you can increase your close rate is by applying this high ticket application funnel here, right? I'm going to break that down in a couple of minutes as well. And again, just build a repeatable sales script and objection handling framework. This is also, just check my YouTube videos. I have a bunch of videos about sales, breaking down scripts and all that good stuff, right? And again, pre-hires here, it's optional, this one, the virtual assistant, but will greatly help you focus more on actually working on the high leverage task. Meaning like instead of you doing the updates, the admin task, cleaning off the CRMs, handling the emails, or the scheduling, rescheduling, or updating the tracking sheet that you have, just get a VA for it. It's so simple, right? It keeps you organized. And again, 0 to 30K per month, the only hire that you would need is an appointment setter, generally, right? And you should expect to pay them roughly around 1.5 to 3K per month. You could either do a base, right, of 1,500 and then per show up, or you could just do like a 5%, 100% commission. It's ultimately up to you as well, up to your discretion, right? I've seen a bunch of different price structure, and I think if you're starting off and you don't have that much cash, obviously you can opt in for more 100% commission, right? And again, these appointment setters will focus on booking your calls, right? Following up in CRM, doing the outreach from the engagement, all that good stuff, right? And again, just fill out the unqualified prospects, and I'll break down the high ticket funnel here as well. But again, your main goal in this first stage is to establish a steady stream of calls and repeatable high converting sales process. Now, let's actually break down the fun part, which is how do you actually get this funnel implemented, right? So there are 3 points first that you need to dial in for you to actually make this happen, right? Meaning like to actually scale this predictably to 100K per month, this needs to get dialed in. Your organic content funnel and also your paid, right? And then also this too is not only gonna work is if you have clarity on your core offer, right? Because this is where you're gonna pull inspiration for your marketing efforts, from your ads, from your call outs, right? And also creating your lead magnets and VSLs. You need to have a clear, defined core offer on who you serve exactly and what's the transformation that you're serving them, right? It's extremely important. And then these are the stages of the leads that you should expect to have for, excuse me, from the leads that comes through your funnel. There's going to be unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. And then it's your responsibility to get them to the most aware, right? And I'm going to break down to you guys on how you can do that as well here, right? But again, couple, things to lay the ground here, which is the foundation. Make sure your core offer, I can emphasize this, I'm talking about the pricing, the guarantee, and there's a bunch of resources out there as well. You can easily just honestly read $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi, right? Or .com secrets or expert secrets from Marshall Brunson to get that dialed in. And on top of that as well, your lead magnet, right? This is going to pull from your core offer and solving a big problem from your clients or your ideal clients. This is what will encourage to actually somewhat filter out the 80% of people that you wouldn't want to actually work with. This is kind of like the way I see lead magnets is more of not to attract more clients or more quote unquote leads, but to repel all of the unqualified leads you don't want to work with. So you need to clearly define who is this for and who is this not for. Because you can have a lead magnet for everyone and you have a bunch of unqualified leads in your CRM. What's that gonna do? It doesn't mean that if you have more leads, you're gonna get more cash, right? So you need to have the right leads coming into your funnel, and this is how you're gonna do it, right? Having your core offer, lead magnet, and again, I'm emphasizing this because this is extremely important to have a successful way to predictably scale to 100K per month. And after you got that successfully dialed in, then you need the VSL, which is practically just a breakdown of your exact offer, right? And again, this is going to be, a long process, and I am going to break down more on how you can create VSL. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be in my YouTube channel as well here, right? And all that good stuff. And again, it's going to be in the description if you want to work with me, right? And actually scale your offer, right? I'm only working right now with 3 people personally, since I'm just recently pivoting from helping coaches and consultants scale. Before I was training sales reps and managing sales teams, and then now I'm just finally publicly, like, this is the first video where I tell you guys, hey, if you want to work with me directly to actually scale your offer, build your sales team, and help you get consulted on your offer, all that good stuff, then you can book the link below as well so we can chat. So Now, the high ticket application funnel is very simple, very straightforward, right? So I always recommend the people that I work with and the people that I'm working with right now, and I've just seen as well some of the accounts that I've managed as well. Instead of just going straight to paid, you need to at least sign a few clients on organic. You need to have a strong organic presence, because this is what's also going to make or break your paid funnel, right? You can start running paid ads, but if you don't have your organic funnel dialed in, then you're just throwing money at the trash practically, right? Especially if you don't have any CRM setup. A lot of these gurus that sells you like marketing, run more ads, profile visit ads. It's great in theory, but you're spending thousands of dollars to just get a bunch of random followers, right? Sure, you can optimize your creatives, all of this good stuff, but if you don't capture the information of these leads, right? You don't have a CRM set up, you're literally missing the entire point of why you're running ads. Your entire reason why you're running ads is you're going to still expect to get unaware people or some type of problem aware people there, but you still have to go through this lead nurturing sequence to get them to actually be the most aware, right? So the best way to think about your funnel is practically, you should expect majority of the people that you're going to see on your unaware, if your organic content is unaware, or they're somewhat problem aware because you might have called them out by creating specific content for this specific audience, right? But again, you can't control the algorithm for this, right? So that's why we have the lead magnet. So it's used as a stage to filter out all of these unqualified leads or not ideal clients that we don't want to work with, right? And then what you want to do then is you can appointment set them, and again, you just install a setting framework, and I have a setting framework as well in YouTube videos. To break that down for you guys, this is what's going to allow you guys to get those 10, 15, 20 calls per week that you guys are looking for, right? Best way to do this as well is once you get the lead magnet, just make sure you capture the info, the lead info, email, phone number, and then their first or last or just their full name. And then this zaps to the CRM that you have. You can use Close, you can use Go High Level, you can use HubSpot. I personally use Go High Level the most, right? Because it's kind of like an all-in-one platform, and that's one I've been the most familiarized with, right? And again, once you get the lead info, then you can get them as well access to the VSL. You can put this in, slap it in a lander, don't overcomplicate it, right? It's just a breakdown of exactly what you will do to get them from point A to point B and what to expect, timeline, all that good stuff. And again, I'm brushing off the VSL, but this could be another hour-long conversation on how to break that down for you guys, right? And then on top of that, right, so once, again, I want to emphasize this. You guys need to have a CRM once you guys start running paid ads, especially. I'm tired of seeing all of these gurus tell you, oh, just run ads and then set appointment to sales calls. But it doesn't do them any justice. This is why you get a bunch of objections in your sales calls. And I know this firsthand because I've done it myself. This is a mistake that I've done when I was scaling my offer. And on top of that as well, when I'm training up my closers to actually handle these objections, I'm like, well, if you just have an actual proper lead magnet in VSL, right, then you wouldn't have to have these stupid objections that you get on your sales calls, right? Because you can train more objections, you can do all of those things, right? But why do you make it more harder for yourself, right, to actually get the best of the best in terms of your leads, right? Because you could do that route. You could go, be my guest, you could do a bunch of sales calls, right? Spend tons of money on ads, post a bunch of random content organically, right? And then just hope for the best. You can do that route and maybe you scale to 100K months, but it's not going to be sustainable. That's why it's so important for you guys to install a CRM into your coaching business. Because right now you're just a glorified freelancer doing some projects on the side. If you actually genuinely want to run a business, you need to have a CRM in place, right? And after the VSL is set up, right, this is where practically the people that watches this becomes product aware, right? That means they're probably going to either buy your product at this point or want to speak with you, or they want to do more research, right? And this is why on the back end, I'll show you guys on how to actually get them to buy when they hop on a sales call, right? But make sure you do a soft CTA here to just book a call, right? Like kind of like what I'm doing in this YouTube video as well, right? Like, yo, book a call in and below. For me, if you're a coach stuck at 10, 15K per month or 50K per month and you want to scale past to 100K per month, then book a call below. That's a simple call to action. So for you, it could be like if you're running an e-commerce store, right? Hey, if you want to scale past to, 10, 20K per month or get your very first store and find your very first winning product, then book a call below and you can speak to me directly or my team so we can help you find that winning product and actually leave your 9-to-5 job, whatever it is, right? So it's kind of like what you would do. Just soft call to action, right? And again, make sure you have a type form here once you're booking in a scheduler. You could just use a Calendly here, or you could do like just, again, type form for this and ask them about their revenue, current bottlenecks, their budget, maybe their current occupation, what's their goal and all that good stuff. Where did they find you, right? So you can kind of attribute that as well organically, which one you should probably more focus on as well. This is a good way to also do a bit of market research, right? Is have this type form dialed in. And then on top of that as well, right? This is going to vary if they qualify or unqualified, right? So what you can do is install a grading system here. Like, okay, if they answered this or if they're like this X, so that's why I would recommend having a radio button instead of just like that thing. But again, I'm cooking up some stuff where you can install like AI with this, but right now we don't have that. But just do radio buttons now. You can just do the traditional way, right? After they get qualified, again, book call successfully, right? And if they're unqualified, maybe they're unqualified now, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be unqualified forever. So for this, you just do an email sequence and add a DQ tag, right? Put them an email sequence, right? And get them some free resources. Because again, your main goal as a coach is to leave an impact. So still give them some free resources, some free game if they want to implement it themselves. Because if you build goodwill in the market, they're still bound to go back to you. And that has happened to me in the past before. Or they'll speak good about your offer or just you yourself as an individual, then that's just more good points on your end. Because instead of having an ambassador, instead of having a hater, you have an ambassador that actually tells, oh, like Elijah actually knows what he's talking about, or like John knows like what he's talking about and it's actually helpful, right? It's not just there to take your money. So make sure you have, these are like some psychology stuff that I talk about as well in some of my one-on-one clients, right? And again, not book, just make sure it notifies the sales team if they didn't book or if they didn't show up, right? And then make sure to just dial them within the 5 to 10 minutes, right? Confirm the call. Hey, what's going on, John? So you booked in the call, excited for our call. Let me know if you have any questions. More than happy to help you out, right? And just make sure, watch your testimonials. I'm sending you a couple of stuff. And then did you watch the VSL? Just say like the free training, right? And then you can just ask them, oh, what do you think about it? This and that. Oh, nice. What made you look into this? So it's kind of like just have a conversation. And again, this is for the closer, right? Again, if you have any questions, let me know before the call. And this is my personal number. Just say, here's your personal number. And I'm looking forward to our call, right? Let me know if you have that. Let's crush it together. And then that will just help increase the show up rate, the status of the closer, right? And just reminds them to make sure to watch your testimonials in VSL. This is practically the pre-call indoctrination, right? And this is most aware. Now, just make sure your closer is good enough to push it to the edge, meaning like to close the deal, right? So now I think this is a good time to talk about stage 2, which is the 30, 50K a month, which is hire your first closer. Right? Your main goal now is to remove yourself from taking sales calls so you can focus on growth, right? A lot of coaches that's roughly around like 15, 20K per month, they get stuck into this loophole of trying to do everything themselves. And you got to understand that you are the main bottleneck of the entire system, right? Because you only have limited amount of time. And if you keep doing everything yourself, you're not going to scale. You're going to be stuck in this hamster wheel, right? That which is majority of people are stuck at, and they're never going to scale. Do you really think that all of these million a month offers, 100K a month offers that I've worked with would have gotten where they're at if they didn't have a strong team on the back end? They wouldn't, right? Some of these guys pays us good and a lot of money to manage their sales team, or pays us a good amount of money to just close those deals, set those appointments, right? They have sales managers, they have closers, setters, right? They have an entire VA team that onboards clients, all that good stuff, like the client experience, the client journey, right? From a watcher observer to a paying customer, right? Very important. So main focus you need to have at 30-50K per month is hire your very first closer, right? And remove yourself from the entire process of the sales calls. Focus on creating content and delivering great results, more results. I'll talk to you guys about this as well, right? Because more results, actually, let's talk about it. More results equals confidence into your offer, meaning more conviction, and you can also indoctrinate that to your closers and your sales reps, right? And authority within the market, right? Why is my offer, which is Renaissance Closer, that I've scaled up, right, all the way up to 50K per month myself, right, had such a authority figure within the sales training niche, right? Even though I'm not big, I only have 2,000 subscribers here in YouTube, and I only have like 10K in 10K followers in Instagram, right? It's because the authority and results we've gotten is so good, right? Our success rate is so high for the people that's actually gone through the entire full program and have actually genuinely tried, right? It's because we have the fulfillment dialed in, right? And that means when we have more results, it gives you more quality leads, and it also gets you more cash collected, right? We'll break that down a little bit in a couple of seconds here. But pretty much once you hire your first closer, I'm going to make an entire video here because I completely need a video for this, but it's very intricate when you do this, because if you do this incorrectly, it could be the worst 2 weeks of your life trying to onboard a closer and churning them. And then you just lost tons of time, tons of cash collected in your bank again, and it's just gone. You're never ever going to get the 2 weeks back again. So make sure to stay tuned for that as well. Now, what this works is you have a proven offer, right, that converts 30% close rate on sales calls. Now you're booking 10 to 15 calls, right? Then you're ready to step out of the sales and hand off to a trained closer, right? So what you need to focus now on this is just train this closer up so you can fully delegate it. And honestly, right, during this time, you're either scaling your paid ads or you're scaling your organic content. There's only two ways you can do it, right? So either like create a content team or you create more creatives for paids and dial in your VSL as well, right? Or increase prices. It just varies, right, for each offer as well. So once you get the high ticket closer, right, then the goal is they're going to probably pay him 3 to 8K a month, and commission, fully commission. And again, 10 to 15% commission is the industry average, right? The goal is to look at this KPI and make sure they're closing at 25-40% on qualified calls, right? This is optional, right? Which is get a sales trainer. But honestly, again, if you just hire us, right, you can sort you out, bro. We got you. You don't have to go through this route. Save some money. Remove yourself from sales calls while maintaining a revenue goal. Right. So once you successfully do that, then you move on to stage 3, which is scale the sales team. Right. So increase the sales volume and conversions rates by expanding your team. So at this point, you only have one setter. Right. So now the main focus is practically get a second closer there and another full-time appointment setter. Right. Typically, I see guys that scale from 50 to 100K months usually have 2 to 3 setters. You want to keep it competitive as well, so they also actually have a speed to lead, right? Because that's the most important part. And if there's only one closer and he's making all the money, he can get complacent. So getting another setter there and creating some type of culture, right, to be competitive is extremely important as well, right? Now here, again, you have to create sales dashboards, KPIs to hit, right? Train them up, make sure you review their calls, review the setting framework, all that good stuff. That's why you need to focus here now, right? And then now, since you have successfully gotten a closer, the second closer is very easy to actually hire, right? Just make sure you go through your interview rounds, right? And then on top of that, put them in a trial week period. And then what you want to do then is also use your closers examples that you have. Make sure their sales calls are recorded so they have some examples for the second closer. And full-time appointment setter, right? Again, you can go either just commission or include some base with it, or just every appointment shown, right? It's just ultimately up to you as well. Now the goal is to bump the sales call from 15 to 20 calls to 20 to 30 plus calls per week, right? 30 calls a week is plenty enough to definitely hit those. You're gonna probably like at 80, right? But if you want really the 100K months, I'm gonna say to be in the safe bet is like 50. Just also, you gotta consider no-show rates as well, right? On top of that, right, make sure you also have your email sequence installed at this point, because when you're spending more money on paid, more organic, more people opt in on lead magnets, right? You're gonna get like thousands of people signing up, right? But not all of them is gonna be ready to buy at that very moment. And maybe this 3 months in, 4 months in, then make sure you have some lead in, some email sequences going through to book in a call, limited spots, right? Some deals, right? To incentivize them to actually book in that call, right? So that's the main focus you now have when you're scaling to 100K a month, right? Which leads me to now having Ascension models. Is very important for you to have this, right? From do it yourself, could sell it for, instead of getting them in a program, they can afford the full price. You could just give them the course modules, right? Still get them the onboarding call, but they don't have the continuous support, right? And then done with you 2 to 5K, right? Or you could even raise the price here, right? Depending on the timeline, how long they're going to be there, or a complete done for you, or a mastermind at the end once they've graduated, and you can charge 10, 50K for it and all that good stuff, right? Once you have the Ascension product suite, then that's so much more easier for your closers as well to play around and even call up some of the people that graduated your done with you offer already as well, right? And then stage 4 is 100K months. You have a full sales automation team. You have more time on your hand, right? You're focusing on enjoying and doing your client fulfillments, right? You can do some client retreats, all that good stuff, right? Now your sales is running without you, and you're focusing on growth and scaling and high leverage tasks. Maybe it's creating systems, creating more impact, focusing on interviews, more content, right? More become the authority figure within your specific market needs, right? So what to focus on the stage is you have a self-sufficient sales team now, closing deals without you. You need to increase efficiency and manage multiple revenue streams, right? Maybe open up maybe you focus on Instagram, now you go into YouTube, right? And then maybe blogs and all that good stuff. Then eventually you're gonna have an influx of clients that's coming in, then you need to start looking for a CSM. And the best way to get CSM is whoever gets the results within your program, offer them that spot, because they're the one who's fully more bought in on that stage, right? Again, your main focus here and your main goal is your team needs to operate independently, right? So that's why like having a sales director is extremely important as well, to keep on track of all of the commission structures, strategies, the onboarding, right? The interviews, all that good stuff. Having a really, really good sales director is important, right? Again, focus on content, partnerships, and high level growth. Right, so what that looks like is make sure you have your fulfillment dialed in, right? Sales process, once they show up, the application call, discovery and diagnosis call, right? And then you collect the cash and they go through the onboarding call. Make sure your closer fill in the EOD and commission tracker, right? So it tracks their commission, and then you can look at the end of the month so that you can properly, accurately track their commissions, right? Don't just put them on like Apple Notes, right? Once they get on the onboarding call, right, just make sure you have them access the modules. This is technically installing their principles and coaching, right? Which is make sure you track their progress, their growth, right? Give them, custom feedback on what they need to focus on and all that good stuff. And community is accountability, right? And events, trust and credibility. This is a great way. I've done 2 of these events, probably some of the best ways, because it makes it real. I've done in-person dinners with my clients, right? I've hanged out with them, right? It's so important to have that trust and credibility with them, right? So they're happy, they're active in the community, and therefore the new people that's coming in, right, is also looking forward and working with you. So you just create an ecosystem of great community, great vibes, right? And eventually some of these guys is going to start doing their own thing, right? And you can become friends and they're going to get insight. And that's why like you have the mastermind as well in the back end, right? And make sure you have a clear indicator on what results they're getting. And once they get their quick wins, like biggest wins, try to schedule a client interview right in the get-go, right? And even give them an offer to get into that mastermind or maybe do a done for you for them. That's pretty much the entire sales funnel, or you could say the entire roadmap or journey of getting someone from a complete beginner, someone that has no idea about your service or product, to a paying customer, right? And the main key hires that you need to focus on. Appreciate you tuning in. And if you're interested to scale your coaching offer, let's speak, let's chat, let's see if we can help you out. And again, if you're ready to scale, actually delegate it and have an actual business, book a call below. I'm more than happy to help you out, build this entire funnel out, create the entire sales team for you as well. And again, I'm only taking like 5 people in for this offer just for the fact that I can't do this efficiently if we have like 20 people, right? So, but as always, I'll leave you guys with this: be a creator, not a consumer. Create something today that will inspire you and others. See you in the next one.